What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another YouTube video. My name is John Hammond, and in this video, we're checking out more of the HackTheBox Cyber Apocalypse Capture the Flag event. So I'll hop over to my computer screen, and we're taking a look at the Alien Fish Challenge in the Forensics category. We'll go ahead and check out the challenge information. It says, this PowerPoint presentation was sent to the top leadership of the human resistance effort. We believe it was an attempt by the aliens to fish into our networks, find the malicious payload, and the flag. All right, we do not have a container or Docker instance to be able to spin up for this. We just have a file to download. So we'll go ahead and download that and move over to my terminal, where I will move that downloads forensics alienfish.zip into this directory. I'll go ahead and unzip that forensics alienfish.zip file, and I have an alien weaknesses.powerpoint we can go ahead and work with. I'm going to make a directory for alien fish, and I'll hop over there after I move this file into that directory that I just created. So let's get over there and let's take a look at what we're looking at, right? So this is another Microsoft Office file. You can tell by that extension, it is a PowerPoint file. And of course, running file on it does give us that information there. PPTX is still one that can enable macros, from what I understand. Maybe I'm wrong on that. But anyway, let's just dive into it, kind of like we did in the previous video, just checking out, are there any macros in that? No. Well, okay. I guess I'm wrong. Maybe. Who knows? We can, though, unzip a Office document, like literally Office documents like Word documents or PPTX or XLSX, some of the Excel ones, they're just binary blobs of other files, so you can literally unzip them. Let's go ahead and unzip that alien weaknesses.powerpoint, and there's a lot of stuff in here, but still things we could look through and maybe find some interesting stuff. So that put it into doc props and PowerPoint and rels. Let's check out what this, I guess, content types might be. Not a ton going on here. I mean, I guess there is a ton going on here, but none that makes a whole lot of sense. Just definitions for how things might be loaded in or what it's using. Fair enough. What about those doc props? More XML files. Yeah. What things we would want to show part of PowerPoint there. Same thing with that core.xml. Looks like it's going to be a title document, alien weaknesses, creator. Hey, HackTheBox. Nice, man. Good to see you. Appreciate it. Jumping into the video. And when it was created back in April. Excellent. So we also have a thumbnail image to view. Ooh. Top secret. Alien weaknesses. Action plan is take back the Earth. This presentation uses advanced PowerPoint features. Push F5 to start presentation and enable these features when prompted. Ooh, so maybe it's going to try and execute other things with like actions, PowerPoint actions. What else do we have in here? PowerPoint, that file looks like it has stuff in media, table slides, table styles, view props. Let's check out this presentation. Just gross definitions of what might be where. Some of these XML files are kind of hard to read and make sense of. You might not always get good elements out of that, but you kind of want to be keeping an eye out for weird looking stuff like encoded data. Oh, here's another image to showcase that Microsoft Office thing. It's telling you, hey, go ahead and enable all, even though this is a potential security concern, right? Those pop-ups that our grandparents just click right through. Allow everything. Yes to all. Top secret. Nice. We could check out the presentation properties. Not a ton in there. And you can move into the slide layouts or the slides and the theme and all. What is in rels? Part of me wonders if that is something that will have like relative things that are important. Let's check out this one. Nothing. Nothing oddball immediately kind of catching my eye. Just a lot of boilerplate XML, open XML format stuff. But on the notion of those rels or relative things to import and add in, part of me wonders if we really have anything present. What is this .rels file that was in here? No, still nothing. Okay. Let's hop back into that PowerPoint directory. because maybe there was other rels that we didn't see. There's a lot more kind of in this. If I were to run find, you can see everything that might be under this directory. Yeah. Okay, there's plenty in slide masters, also plenty in slide layouts, and in slides themselves. So let's check out those specific slides. We know seemingly there'll just be one slide, seemingly there's just a slide1.xml. Oh, and there's a lot of gross nonsense here. But there's that string. This presentation uses advanced PowerPoint features, push F5 to start presentation, and enable these features when prompted. And there's all that information that we had seen in that thumbnail. So what else is this going to include? Let's move into that rels here. Oh, something looks super wonky in the middle of this. Let's try and clean this up a bit. Is there an XML formatter online? Folks always yell at me like, John, you should really just be using some Sublime text thing. Is there an HTML format or Beautify? Tidy HTML. We could install something. Tidy XML? HTML beautifier? Yeah. We'll let that install real quick. And then since it's close enough to HTML, maybe we'll be able to get that to display and work just fine for us. Sublime Text is always a bit slow in selling packages for me. I'm not positive why. Whatever. It's installed now. So let's try and run HTML Beautify. And that did absolutely nothing for me. So let's go to the online tool. HTML Beautifier. Here's a free online formatter, just literally the first link. Let's paste it in. Let's see if that makes things any easier. That looks a little bit better. So I'll grab that. Cool. Now, is there anything here that sticks out like a sore thumb to you? Because one certainly does for me. This relationship has a lot more nonsense in it, and it looks like it's all part of this target object, or this kind of attribute here. So this cmd.exe is immediately kind of sketchy. It might be trying to run some command prompt thing here. And this is using, looks like URL encoding because of the percent and little quotes here. % sign encoding and hex. Let me go decode this in Python. We could do this again with an online tool, but we will go ahead and unquote this string that we can pass in. Did I copy the double quotes? Fair enough. Looks like we've got cmd.exe, tac v on /c to run a command kind of in line. Let's check out what that might be. I'm going to use this where we set a variable to something very strange. It looks reversed. Here's an ampersand. Oh, so it looks like HTML entities are also in here, but that ampersand will be cleaned up really easily. And will allow us to run multiple commands kind of within that batch syntax if this was going to be executing as a script in batch. And I see fragments of a for loop in here, which for L of X in 122, which leads me to believe 122 being a length of the characters because it's going to subtract down. How far do we get? That brings me to 126. But it subtracts down from 122 and sets KCX to KCX with delayed variable expansion. The value at YM, which is this string, and indexing it at X, the loop iterator variable, with an offset of 1. Okay. And then we would call this. So if we're counting down, then our hunch is totally right that we have gone ahead and reversed some string. And I'm sure you can see PowerShell kind of backwards here. So let's go ahead and grab this and reverse it in Python yet again. This has double quotes in it already, so it's going to be kind of annoying. Maybe we can use triple quotes in Python. How about that? Let's use 1, 2, 3. Paste in this string, 1, 2, 3. And let's be good with that. I'll store that as a variable. Because I didn't do it previously, I can use the underscore to get the previous variable out of Python. That's just the variable A now. And if we were to reverse this, we can see the syntax PowerShell tag C, a variable to being defined O, $ being the prefix for variables in PowerShell. We're grabbing an environment variable out of the temp directory, so the temp directory on its own, and we have this big long string. IWR as an alias for invoke web request, calling out to http destroyearth.alien x.exe, writing it out to this temporary file inside the temporary directory with this file name here. Weird, right? This looks to me like base 64. So I noticed there is a \n in here. I'm assuming that's a new line. Maybe that comes from the way that we had copied it. But this fragment portion here certainly looks like base 64. The PZ99 doesn't. The exe, obviously not. But let's try and base 64 decode that. So I will import base 64 decode that string that I'm looking at. Copy that one more time. And just slap it in. And we have incorrect padding. So let's try and add some equal signs in there. Yeah? That looks good. Is there another equal sign maybe? Is that half the flag? Or is that the entire flag without maybe like without the ending curly brace? Let's try and submit that and let's find out. Maybe we lost a portion of our base 64. Nope. Okay, maybe we're looking at half. So where else are we coming from? Is that 99ZP something that we should genuinely work with? Was I a little too quick on the trigger? Let's grab that. The .exe will fail, but maybe the rest of it will. No, there's an incorrect padding on that. Incorrect padding on that. That's still being wonky. Is our PZ99 something that we genuinely need? We were doing URL decoding though. And there is a base 64 derivative that is like URL safe, right? Let's try that CyberChef guy, you know? Sometimes it's all about getting back to the basics with our CyberChef. So we'll paste in that with the underscore and PZ99. And let's do a from base 64. Is there the URL safe rendition? Yeah, where underscores are present in part of it. So let's try that. And that looks much better, right? That all the way at the end has the curly brace. I think that might be what we're looking for. Slap that one in. It just had a bunch of question marks at the end. Cool. Nice and easy, I suppose. I don't think that one was that awful. We were kind of bumping around in the internals of PowerPoint. Again, if you wanted to, you could open that up in a virtual machine and kind of experiment and explore, kind of get to see what the actions were, what it was doing. But maybe checking out the internals is a little bit more fun. And I don't know, it was nice to de-obfuscate in a strange way some PowerShell with some, batch scripting in there or cmd.exe language. So very slick, very cool. I think that's a neat one to showcase. And again, showcasing some peculiar malware or bad malicious code syntax and structure. So that's that. That was that challenge. And I think that's a good way to wrap this video up. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed. Maybe that base 64 URL trick, maybe that URL differentiation is something to keep in your back pocket if you haven't seen it around before. But that's it. That's a wrap. thanks so much for watching, everybody. Please do all those YouTube algorithm things. I would love if you could like the video, maybe leave a comment, maybe subscribe. Super duper thankful, super duper grateful. And of course, thank you to HackTheBox for being willing to let me jump in and record a few more videos on this thing. So thanks again, everybody. I love you. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.